Hi guys, welcome back with another machine on the Van Hub, which is Digital World Local 4. The link will be put into the video below so that you can download and play the machine. From my point of view, this machine is beginner level. Without further ado, let's just get started. We can head over to Linux VM. First of all, we need to discover the IP address of the target. The utility I'd like to use, as always, would be net discover. So then we can run sudo net discover. As before, I used the option like -i to specify the interface. So all packets will be sent from this interface. And also use the R option to specify the network range to speed up this process. So now we can press enter. So as you can see over here, the IP address of the target could be recognized as 253. So what are we going to do next? We need to do port and surface scanning with a map. To save time of this video, I've already done that before. So now we can get out its result. Let's scroll up. As you can see over here, I took the options like scene scan, the version scan, the default script scan, followed by the -p- to do the full range port scan. The last option for all is ON to output the result into this file. So from the map scanning results, we can tell that the target has 1, 2, 3, or not this one, 3, 4, 5, 6 open port numbers in total. So let's take a look at them one by one. The first one is 80, which is running HTTP service, and also the version information, Apache 2. And we can tell that the target is running SSL, and also the version information. And even we can tell that the target is running some sort of CMS made simple. And so later we need to check it out whether this version is vulnerable. And the next port number is 139, which is running Samba service. And then for 3, which is running SSL. So I think both 80 and 3 are running SSL service. Okay, so let's move on. And the next one is also running a Samba service, and the last one is 33306, sorry, my bad, which is running MySQL service. So how to do next? As you know, now we are entering the enumeration stage. However, the problem is, where shall we start from or start with? Just I mentioned in the other videos, if you have already followed my channel, you know that very well. If the target is running file sharing service such as FTP, such as Samba, such as NFS, such a service should be enumerated first. So this case would be Samba. So how to enumerate Samba service? I'd like to use at least 2 techniques. The first one is SMB client with the option of uppercase L followed by the IP address of the target. So then we can hit enter. And now we can supply the password of my own machine. And although the shares are there remotely, but both fall into some sort of default shares, which cannot give us anything useful. Next or second utility I'd like to use when I enumerate Samba service is enum for Linux. And usually I will use this utility to discover possible usernames on the target. Although, the enum for Linux can give us much more information beyond a username. For example, like shares, for example, like even some, the group. So a lot of information can be retrieved by this utility. So now it's enumerating users using SID. I think we have already found this user Q, and also we can put down such information to our notebook. So next, I think we can test whether my circle surface is vulnerable to weak credential vulnerability. So let's use my circle, and we can use the username root and the target. Press enter, and we can use password root as well, but we got an error. It means that possibly this my circle surface is not vulnerable to a weak credential vulnerability. So next, we can access the port number 80 by the browser to start our web enumeration. Press enter, and here, so now we can, at the bottom, we can notice the target is running CMS made simple. So we can copy, and then we can check whether this surface is vulnerable or not. We can use such as point and followed by the keyword to search. And although this version has some vulnerabilities, but I think all of them are authenticated. So this is not what we want. So now we can go on. Next, we can check its source code. Sometimes we can find something sensitive from the source code. We can scroll down, but nothing here. Next, we can check the robots file. And although there's some entries, but just some, some rules for a crawler, okay? And the next, I think, the browser has been automatically redirected to the HTTPS version. So I think both port number, the 80 and 443 are running the same application, actually, okay? So next we can launch the Nicto to do the automatic enumeration. Nicto can give us a lot of and also very rich information about the web application. For example, like the version information, and if the module or the version is vulnerable, and the Nicto can also give us such information as well. And the robots, the module, although it's a bit outdated, but I don't think we can find any workable vulnerability for this module. Okay, so now I'd like to interrupt Nicto to save the time of this video. Next, as usual, I will do the directory enumeration or conduct directory enumeration by GoBuster. Let me auto-complete this command. So now we can press enter. When we try to enumerate the HTTPS site, you will get such error. Failed to verify certificates. Of course, we do not want to have such a verification, and we can, ignore this sort of verification by the option of -K. Press enter, and now, GoBuster can go on its enumeration as before or as usual, and admin, and we can access this directory. Usually this would be the administrators panel, but we can try to use the admin as a username and also admin as password to try. Submit, and we got the error. Okay, and the second one is which caught my attention is a test. We can access this file test. Press enter, and we got the error missing get parameter. So I think the message is very clear. We should pass the get parameter we should pass parameter and the method should be get, or in other words, the parameter should be carried in the URL. Okay, so how to do? We can use the fuzzing tool. Maybe I can interrupt the GoBuster. We can use wfuzz tool, and let me autocomplete. Sorry, not this one. I will use the holder, or maybe the placeholder, and so the word from the word list can be placed into this hole or this placeholder as the program running. Okay, is running. Okay, so now we can press enter. However, usually we'll get many errors, or not errors, a lot of put, and the majority of such output will be useless. So by put the option of HW, and we can ignore the words, 7 quantity of words of 7. So then the output would be cleaner. Okay. So now we can successfully retrieve the password, sorry, not password, parameter name file, and then we can use this. Of course, we need to put the question mark in the end, and etc password. Press enter, and as you can see, indeed the target is vulnerable to the local file inclusion vulnerability. We can check its source code. This way can be more understandable for us, and we can know, and the system has a queue user. And the next, what do we have to the next? We need to get information from the target, and usually I will check whether we can access the private key, the home q SSH private key. Press enter, and we successfully got back the private key, and we can get the more organized format of this private key in the source code. We can copy, and let's put up the terminal and create the private key on the terminal, and then we can write and quit. And in order to use this private key, we need to change mode. 400 or 600 is fine. And now we can change its permission. Next, we can, of course, so far we have already got the username Q. And then we can use the option of -I to specify the private key. Let's press enter. And now we need to do some local enumeration. For example, we can grab the user flag, no problem, and local privilege share, no problem. And next, we need to continue our local enumeration. For example, usually we need to check the bash history. This file contains some, for example, like historic commands. Even sometimes we can get the password. Yes, as you can see here, this would be the password in order to run sudo. So we can copy. Oh, what I'm doing? We can run sudo. What I'm doing? We can cat bash history, and to copy this password for the user Q, we can copy, and then we can try to run this sudo with option of L, and then as you can see, the current user can run all commands. So I think the privilege escalation would be very, very easy. We just run sudo bin bash. And as you can see, we have already become the root user. Now we can navigate to root directory to grab the root flag. So I think that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day, please.